Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
What's up, guys? Colonel Fats here, and today I'm going to help you set up your OBS to start speedrunning Lies of P any percent glitchless. I've always kind of wanted to make these videos because what got me into speedrunning, I looked into my favorite Souls game at the time, Dark Souls 3, and the record holder at the time, Sieg, put out an awesome video on a beginner route for just getting through it. In my opinion, Dark Souls 3 is significantly harder than this game, but this run is also significantly longer than that one, so pick your poison, right? But either way, this video is going to help you get your everything you need to have like a legal, legit run. There's rules, so you got to have a controller showing. If you use keyboard and mouse, you got to have that showing. Get your splits set up. Get the universal save tool so you can practice the splits, because it's quite the long run, and a lot of these bosses have a lot of RNG, so there's just a lot to it. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to set up is our Gamepad Viewer. If you use a controller, you absolutely have to do this. If you use only controller or keyboard and mouse, then you don't. Skip this step. But basically, I use a PlayStation 4 controller, or Xbox controller, or anything like that. You will have to set this up. So I will have links to all this in the description. And a big shout out to the Lies of P speedrunning Discord, and the Souls Discord is where I originally got some of this stuff. But essentially, there's resources tab in there that has a lot of this. You just got to search and filter. But I'm hoping this video might be good enough to just show you everything you need, and you can just use this and all the links below. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. All right, gamepadviewer.com is where we're going to go first. It says I have my controller plugged in, but there's no gamepads connected, so you just move the button. All of a sudden it reads it. Go to player one. Make sure your inputs are working. Good. Now, if you use an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller, you can use whatever. I use a dark background in my OBS, so I like to use white controller just so it shows up a little more readable. Doesn't really matter though, just as long as it's on there and it's reading your inputs, will not get rejected for your runs like I did. So how do we get it into OBS? We're gonna click the three lines, click generate URL, and then the skin will not go to what you clicked on the first screen or whatever. You got to change this drop down again. If you use an Xbox One controller, you guess you don't have to, but I will click that. Then you're gonna click the hover over to copy, so you just click it, and then we're going to go into our OBS. In OBS, how we add it is we're going to add a browser source. So we go to, add scene source, add source, add a browser source. I'm just going to add my existing controller one rather than create a new one, but you'll create a new one, call it like controller, and add it. Mine already popped up as the controller because it's set, but once you add it, go into properties, take that link and paste it right here, hit OK, and your controller should show up. Test the buttons, it's all good. You really don't have to have it that big. As long as it's readable and it's on there, you'll be good. It's, no cheating, show your input, perfect. So once that's there, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so next up, we're going to add the NohBoard. Basically is what's going to allow your keyboard up on the screen. This took a little finagling because you have to go find your mouse. Make sure you add the correct mouse so that it mouse correctly. Essentially, you're like, why do you use keyboard and mouse? You have a controller. And I'm like, there's one specific jump that we do early on in the run that is significantly easier with keyboard and mouse. The main gist of it is W will always run straight, whereas you can do it with the controller, but it's harder and it's harder to do fast, which is obviously what we're trying to do. So essentially, I'll have links in the description, but we just go here and we're going to download this NohBoard. Once you get that saved and or whatever to where you want it to, we're then going to open it up, and it's going to look like this chroma key screen. With this, If you right click, you'll open up a little menu. You can change the settings from here. I didn't really change any of this. The main thing is to load your keyboard and mouse. In terms of the style, I just recommend the clean black, clean white. Just easy to read. It looks good. It's nice and small. Blah, blah, blah. I have a Razer Black Widow, whatever the hell this thing is called. I don't know. It reads my keyboard, so it works. So you just have to like do a little research on that. I remember adding this was not too. Apologize because it's been a while, but this is the software. It's really not too complicated. And then for this one, instead of a browser source, we're actually going to add a window capture. So when you start your stream, you're going to have to click the NohBoard and have it up. Otherwise, it won't show up at all. But we're going to go to our sources, add a window capture. Again, I'm just going to add my existing keyboard and mouse. Boom. And there it is. Yours, when you go into the properties, when you first add it, you're going to select the window NohBoard. Boom. Should just read it perfectly. Again, we're just going to resize it and test all the buttons. They all work. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Now we got that up. Again, if you don't use a controller at all, this is the only step you need for this. And you can make it a little bigger or whatever. But yeah, like I said, that one jump, I need this. So I had to get it. Okay, so the next crucial component to getting your run legit is you have to show the in-game FPS counter. Basically, it's just a simple Steam setting, and it's needed. Otherwise, your run's illegal, and they'll reject you, and you'll be sad when you finally get that run completed. Basically, you just go Steam, go to settings, then in settings, scroll down to in-game on the left bar, and we're going to go to in-game FPS counter. Click top left. It doesn't really. Top left is just good. Put it there. Then I select this to make it high contrast, so it's very readable, very simple. Can't really complain. But then another big thing that OBS you have to do is when you add your game, you add Lies of P like the game capture. You want to go into properties and then scroll down. And make sure you have this box capture third-party overlays such as Steam checked. This will allow it to capture the FPS in the left. If you don't, it won't be visible unless you do like a monitor capture. And I mean, don't do that. Just add the game and then check this box and you're good. And if you don't have it, illegal run, you'll get rejected. All right, so for the next thing we're going to add is going to our splits themselves. This is very important just to track progress and see how everything's going. It also auto splits based off of in-game events, but it will also start and end specifically when we want it to. So simply, we're just going to go to livesplit.org downloads, and we're going to download the latest version of Livesplit. Pretty simple. We're going to run that. Once we run it, you're going to get this like timer and you're going to be like, what? These aren't splits. Well, you right click edit splits. We're going to create the splits and start typing in Liza P at the top, pull the game. And as you can see, once you pull the game, the auto splitter pops in from Cactus into Vintage Salad. Huge shout out. Thank you so much for this. It is super helpful. Then we're going to go to the run category, select any percent. You can actually just type in whatever you want here. I mean, it is, but it's going to show up above there once we save. Boom. And then you'll be able to, I'll have like a link to my splits in the description of the video. That way you can just import my splits and you don't have to type them all out like I had to. So you're welcome. No big deal, to be honest. So once you get that, I'm just going to open my splits real quick. So these are my latest splits. Basically it's got everything down here, the very long run. And then to get the auto splitter, we're going to click edit splits. So once you have imported all your splits, it's going to look something like this. You won't have all these times, but whatever. You're going to have all these splits. how it works is you click settings, and then you're gonna have all these various boxes that relate to in-game events. Like when we enter Elysian Boulevard for the first time, it's gonna split. It's trigger to split. That's basically the gist of how this works. Let me maximize. Of course, it still has a tiny window. Never mind. So basically, there's these various drop downs. You're gonna want to check all of these boxes. So I'll just go slowly. And this is it's no way like you can split wherever you want. To be honest, you can change these how you want, just as long as you have final split active, and then it just starts on start. But really, you got to have this one. And as long as your splits match how many boxes you have, you should be good. I will say I actually have 2 less boxes checked because there's 2 points where we just teleport to Krot, level up and upgrade, and then teleport right back. It's not going to trigger that same entering cathedral library is what it is. It's not going to trigger that again. So once you get to the loading screen, the timer will stop, and then you hit 1, whatever your split button is. I think it defaults to 1. Same thing at Grand Exhibition Gallery as well. Once you travel back, you'll have to make. But yeah, scroll through. I'll let you look. These are the ones you want to have checked for splits on entering an area for the first time. Elysian Boulevard, Workshop, Union, Library, Rosa Isabel, Grand Exhibition, Collapsing Krot, and Relic of Tristan Crackers. Then on the next one, you want to select everything but Parade Master. Tritor, current world record holder, he splits this, but he told me he was splitting it just to test sometimes to see how I get the fastest segment, because top runners do. Mad Donkey, Atoned, Kill the Black Cat, Spare the Black Cat, Harem, spoilers. And then there's a couple of special ones. Once you have all of these checked, click OK, and you should basically be good to go. Now, once we have all of our splits set up and everything, to get it into OBS is pretty simple. It's just another window capture, just like the NohBoard. Add source, add window capture. You'll name it splits or whatever you want to name it. Click OK. And obviously, once you add it, you'll just select the livesplit.exe window, hit OK, and then put it wherever you want, size it ever want. Now, I was told I apparently have a shitty settings. If you want to like edit the layout, you can putz with it there and add other stuff like a more detailed viewer. I know I added sum of best just because I wanted to see. So hey, my sum of best is finally below 130. Let's go. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do there. But really, if you just leave all of this at the default, it'll still be fine. So that is Livesplit. Now we got our splits, so technically we're ready to do runs. All right, the last thing we're gonna end up downloading is this universal save tool. This is an insanely useful tool. It's not only useful for Lies of P. I use the same tool for Dark Souls 3. Essentially, what you can do, Lies of P has only 10 save files, and it'd be pretty bad on all the splits to just have 10 saves for practice. You'd have to do so much stuff, it'd be hard. Instead, we're going to download this universal save tool. Just click here and make download. Downloaded. I'm going to pull it up. Look, something like this, not entirely. This took a little bit to get figured out, but it's not that bad, to be honest. But what you're going to do is, create a new set of saves or whatever. And then you're going to, first of all, browse here, and you got to go into your Steam apps, common, Lies of P again, saved, save games. Once you get into save games, it's going to be this folder with a bunch of numbers, and you're going to click that and select that folder. That is the folder that houses all your saves. They actually had to update Universal Save specifically for Lies of P, because Lies of P for some reason has 2 character saves per save. Kind of odd. I don't know the exact specifics. But once you get to that folder, one thing you're gonna need to do is whichever save file slot you want to use as your, how do I put this, your this is the one I'm gonna load every time I want to load a save and practice slot. You have to have a game started, I guess you could say, to actually create these files that we want to add. So, like, say you're like me when I was first doing this, I had one save file. I beat the game 3 times and 100%ed it, so that save file was there. If I wanted to have my stuff in save slot 2, I would have to start a new game and then just quit out, and then it would have created this. So, once you do that and have your slot, whatever you want it to be, you want to have this checked, this box right here for save slot 2. You're going to click browse, and then in that same folder with all the numbers that we were in earlier, you're going to scroll, and I mean, these are all, yeah, I've remade my saves a ton, and instead of making new profiles, I just named them weird. I am not efficient. It's fine. You're going to take your save character 1 and then the save character 2 in the bottom browse and add those. I have mine in save spot 5 because my slots 1 through 4 I didn't want to get rid of. I don't know why, to be honest, but whatever, it works. So you'll just select, character 5, and then second one, character 5 or slot 5 again, but character 2. And then boom, and that's all set up. And then in the next video, I'm actually going to go over the run while also going over making your splits. I'm not going to be the guy who gives you all of these saves for free and just said, oh, just import my saves and you'll be good. Personally, I think one of the hugest things that helped me in memorizing the run, because it's like an hour and a half more run and just going through and making the saves really helps stick the memory in. And also, if you know how to make the saves yourself, you can make a save anywhere and practice anywhere you want. And valuable. So in the next video, when we go through the walkthrough, and it's going to be a giant video, we're going to go through everything and make brand new saves. And you can follow along the video and make your own saves. And then you'll have all of these. So it's pretty much as simple as load Lies of P, click the save you want to load. You can change all your keybinds. I'm pretty sure I left these all at default, so it's F7 and F9. But just for taking sake, want to fight Karen, hit F9 when you're at the loading screen, and then just load. In my case, the 5th slot, and it will take us to our save. So very, very helpful tool. Definitely necessary for some of these late jumps and everything. So again, I'll see you in the next video with the giant walkthrough. It's probably going to take a bit to make, but at least you'll get this to get started. So yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for me, guys. You got your Gamepad Viewer, you got your NohBoard, you show your FPS, you got your splits, and the universal save tool is ready for the next video. So we're going to do that next and go through the walkthrough of the actual run and where we should make saves and what we need to practice and all of that. If you have any questions or if anything wasn't unclear, I apologize. You're asked. No, I'm just kidding. No, this took me a while to figure out, and I know I'm not the greatest explainer of things. So if you have any questions, comment down below in the description, or better yet, just join the Lives of People running Discord, and there's a help channel or resources channel. You can ask questions. Everyone's super friendly from what I've noticed in Dark Souls or Lives of Peace running communities, a bunch of friendly people who just want fast. So ask questions. Everyone's nice and will be willing to help. But I've been Curl Fats, and I'll see you next time.